I'm Eddie McClintock.
I'm Joanne Kelly.
From Warehouse 13, and you are watching OpenTheFridge.com.
Net.
Balls.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's time to re-enter a world of endless wonder, as SyFy Channel's top secret agents are back for the 4th season of the hit show, Warehouse 13. We talked with executive producer Jack Kenny, as well as the stars of the show, to find out what the new season has to offer the team that calls America's Attic its home. So, Mr. Kenny, this cast has, you watch the show, you see them as a family. You seem to put them through hell this past season finale. How is that going to affect the core group of them?
I mean, what family doesn't go through hell, right? I mean, to me, that's the reason the show works, is because it's a family, because they care about each other, and because they care, we care about them. You know, I think that's the key to any successful show is the audience has to care about the characters, and because they love each other, we love them for that. So, and you have to put any family through turmoil in order to get that emotion. The great thing about this cast is they can do anything. They can make, I mean, every one of them has the ability to make you laugh and cry in the same sentence, and that is a dream for any writer, just to be able to write to that kind of facility, that kind of flexibility. They're just great. So it's really been a tremendous ride. I love it. I love this cast. Well, I think we have probably the most emotional ride yet. I mean, we began it with the death of Steve last year and the collapse of the warehouse, the death of Mrs. Frederick and HG. Everybody is devastated. So now, because the show is called Warehouse 13, we have to, you know, I want the fans, don't worry. They'll all be fine. Remember, in the end of the first season, we killed Artie. And the end of the second season, Micah quit. So don't worry. But it is an incredibly emotional ride this year, more emotional than ever. Artie's at the center of an irrevocable thing that he started in the first episode. He created this dangerous thing in order to save, what he could save. He created another danger, and our cast has to deal with that all year long. And it culminates in an incredibly emotional, powerful episodes 9 and 10 this year, the end of our first season. And then next year we even pick up the thread and continue it after that. So it's really kind of fun. Oh, you know, I always get that question. It's hard because we never think of artifacts first, ever. We always think of the emotional situation, the emotion, what happens in the moment, what is the occurrence, then we back up and say, all right, what cool thing would cause that? What moment in history would create that? An artifact that I've always found fascinating would be Hitler's microphone. I've talked about that, I think, in other interviews, in that not that the microphone created the evil that was Hitler. I wouldn't want to downplay his evil, but that his evil imbuing a microphone with the power to incite mass hatred, mass hysteria, that kind of thing, that fascinates me. The idea that emotions create artifacts, and artifacts then, focus the emotion back on the person who comes in touch with them. That's what I find fascinating. And that kind of power, the gun that killed Kennedy, those are the ones that I find fascinating. So yeah, high emotion.
So that was a very explosive season finale you guys just had.
Yeah, did you see the first one? Season yet?
Not of this season, no. I can't wait, though. How are the repercussions of this past season's finale going to affect the entire team?
It affects the entire season. I mean,
it will for every season to come.
Yep.
I mean, we are, as you know, we're not called Big Crater in the Ground 13, so we have to find a way to bring the show back. But we always have had a downside to artifacts. Always. Now, the downsides to using an artifact this coming season are darker and, untake-backable. So they're irrevocable. And the consequences are severe and dark and interesting. And they affect everybody. I can't tell you, obviously, but all I can tell you is it's not just going to be, okay, they're using an artifact, everything's back to normal. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be serious consequences.
Yeah. And the fact that every decision we have to make as warehouse agents isn't black and white. Everything is a shade of gray. Yeah. That there are really consequences, and the downside of using artifacts is a huge, huge part of this season.
Otherwise, I think our fans would go, it's not a big deal.
Right.
This person dies, big deal.
Yeah,
and I'll bring him back.
There's
Artie
an
came
artifact
back.
for that.
No, but it's going to be more serious.
that's one of the most intriguing things about the show, how there is no black and white. I mean, even with the big bad of this last season, you could still kind of feel for him a little bit. So, and with Brent Spiner coming in this season as kind of your nemesis, I mean, how is that going to play into this season?
Well, that's part of what I can't tell you. But what's really cool for me is that I got a chance to work with Brent over 8 or 9 episodes, and he's an old friend. And all I can tell you is expect the unexpected, which we always say, but we were kidding last time. It really is unexpected.
Yeah.
So are we going to see more Claudia more in the field this season?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got a few times Claudia goes out into the field with Pete. We do a couple pairings, which is
She's got
honestly
more and
my
more.
favorite.
She's got more and more stuff to do.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Well, what do you want the fans to really take away from this season?
Well, the season 4, I don't want to tell the fans anything. They are going to make up their own minds. The truth is, I think it's our best season yet. The writing has always been good, but it's taking chances. And I think that every episode is a cliffhanger. That's really, really quite deep. It's very interesting. Not that we're not having fun and there's not the usual, there's humor, but it is a season that takes a lot of chances, and the fans are they're gonna not be able to wait for the next show. It's cool.
So that was a really explosive season finale you guys had, quite literally. How is that going to really affect what's coming up this season for all of you guys?
I think you'll see one of the characters in the warehouse changed forever. And I think that this year we start out painting with a much darker color than I think that you've seen. I mean, we lost Mrs. Frederick, Steve, H.G. Wells, and the warehouse all in one fell swoop. And I think you'll see the people all the characters try to deal with the fallout from that.
Yeah, and the warehouse itself has become a character, so we've lost that as well. So like Joanne said, it's the most important character. It's what gets our paycheck signed. So is that not that that's important? Because it's really about the fans, not the money.
Why are you doing this look
or the
today?
fame.
It's so
I don't know.
weird.
It's my new thing.
It's very strange.
Because that's how models
Like
do
this
it.
is how it looks to you from the side. Like
Watch
if
this.
I was just looking at you, this is how
Watch
it would
this
look.
already, and see?
I see it again. It's weird.
Well, you can't do it. That's why you're pissed.
I think I can do it.
Anyway.
Thank you.